Yo! Hello! Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Mikey, and welcome to this Hellstormwargaming live stream. How are we doing? Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you had a wonderful time. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for popping by, saying hello, and let me know who you are and where you're watching from. We've got a live chat working today, so thanks so much. I'm going to say hello to everyone who's turned up nice and early. Hello, Manny Marv. That terrain looks foul. We're going to talk all about it. Justice. Hello, matey. How are you? Dan Elliott, let's go. That's true. We should go. I like the stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kazarian. Hello, mate. How are you? Karen Commissar, how you doing? Mr. Nerdbane, hello. Manuel says the RPG finale was fire. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. If you didn't know, we've just wrapped up our short campaign of a Warhammer the Old World role-playing game. It was only 3 episodes long. We didn't do loads. I didn't want to be like, oh, it's a fucking, I'm doing this for the next 20 weeks and you can't catch up once the first 5 are over because you've missed loads and it's like 19 hours catch up. No, it's a three episodes, one and done. That's it. It's all done now. Is stream choppy? I don't see anything my end. Let me have a look. I'll check it on my phone. It shouldn't be, though. Come in and say hi. It's buffing a bit at the start. I've got no notification of buffers. I got nothing. There's nothing on my phone either. We know what it's like, because obviously if I'm buffering, it'll say dropped frames, and I got none. Oh. Just as I said that, I dropped from 60 FPS to 55. It seems to be working fine. This isn't red. Normally it'll tell me. 0% dropped. Dropping more packets than every. Try refreshing. It might just be YouTube. I've got nothing. There's nothing on my end. Is YouTube down? Oh, spoilers. Like I said, there's nothing on my end. That means I'm not doing anything. Brett. Cool. Is YouTube down? Is YouTube Jova? No issues at all. Yeah, I've got... If normally, I'm not like oh, nothing's happening. You know, I'm not normally like fucking, oh, no, it's happening, what you're on about. But, like, I can't see anything. Is YouTube streaming down right now? Endless buffering and a black screen reporting from the UK. YouTube is having an outage. Time to go outside. That was awful. Oh, bro, it's not even me. I'm not doing anything. It's not me. Chat, it's not me. Please, it's not me. If you're not having a problem, are you in the UK? If you are having a problem, are you in the UK? Chat, it's not even me, bro. Look at that line. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sat here. Chat, quick, give some members and it'll fix it. Chat, gift a member and it'll fix it, I promise. I'm fine, I'm just down the road. Creepy. Creepy. Look, I can't do anything. If it's not shown on my end, that's all YouTube, not me. Working on my mobile using Wi-Fi, but my TV on the Ethernet isn't. Work that one out. UK based. Yikes. I don't know then, bro. I don't know. I got nothing. YouTube goes down just as you start the stream. Bro, that's fucking 6 o'clock it started an hour ago. You just have to watch it a slight delay, chat. Just have to watch it 10-second delay. Don't worry about the delay. I don't care what you've got to say anyway, clearly. No Discord notifications. I haven't posted yet because I've just gone live and everyone said fucking Mikey, your stream's shit. Yo, Stein! Thank you. What about Remember? Hell yeah, that works too. Big news, big drama stream.
Celebrates 19 months of membership.
Thank you for the 19 months, dude. Appreciate it. What a legend. What a legend. All my shit's working as well. All my shit's working, and now YouTube's down. I can't win. Literally can't win. Literally can't win. They cut the chat out 2 times with the YouTube workbook. Don't delete, hide the chat. You've got it on screen. Don't worry about it. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say. Not having a problem in Hungary. It's UK. Everybody who says they're having a problem is in the UK. Don't blame my Yorkshire internet. It's fucking sick. 40,000. Warhammer 40,000 frames I've sent. I've dropped 0. The percentage of that is pretty good. Must be all the AI they have to block content for teas. Yeah, all the shit that they're having to add because of the UK and now the US as well, to be fair, to block teenagers watching Skibbity Toilet on YouTube is now catching up to them and fucking ruined it. It's ruining everything. Because you've dropped 0, it's YouTube fumbling. Yeah, everyone's saying it's my fault. And I'm like, I'm just sat here. I'm just a normal man doing nothing. Just living and vibing. Anyway, we've got a lot of drama to talk about today. If you don't know, I've been working on the old Warhammer RPG. Warhammer the Old World RPG. And it's just distracted me from everything, okay? It's just been, like, all-consuming for, like, the past 3 weeks. But it's all finished. There it is. The final episode is out. Look, we've got 3 episodes. Woo! Woo! Let's go. Look at them. Look at the thumbnails. Aren't they popping? Aren't they so sick? I know. I made them myself. Thank you to Big C for doing the illustration. But we've had 3 episodes. It's all one and done now. So if you haven't seen it and you're interested, go watch it. It's pretty funny. I would say it's pretty funny. But it's done. But it has been all-consuming. I've like really enjoyed it, and shout out to Cubicle 7 for sponsoring the campaign. But I'm also really glad it's over. I'm actually kind of glad that it's finished because it was a lot. It was a hell of a lot of work. It was like,
Mikey!
There, thank you for the 5. I saw your message, and I was like, that just sounds like chaos, but also funny. It sounds like chaos, but it was also a lot of work to deal with. Oh, hello.
I was going to put it in chat, but then I didn't know if people would see it. But he has worked so hard on this, and when he says it's been all-consuming, it really has been all-consuming.
I was like this every weekend, like I've got to get this out before 6 o'clock.
I've barely seen him. He's been up to like 3 a.m. doing it. So everyone tell him that he's done a really good job, and we're all really proud of him.
Literally the hardest worker in Warhammer. What can we say?
You've seen what havoc I can wreak if you've been watching it.
That's fucking true.
So you know.
No fireballs near you. No random torches near Georgie. Oh, Andy, don't look at chat.
Why?
Don't look at chat. Don't look at chat.
No, don't. So I didn't, and I made it everyone's fucking problem. Like
It's okay.
I didn't, but thank you for checking on me.
It's okay. Andy went to see Oasis yesterday.
Oh!
You love Oasis. What's your favourite song?
Don't be an ass.
Does it Slide Away?
No, Mikey sings that and it really annoys me. But yeah, the point is, everyone tell him that he did a really good job.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye. So if you haven't watched it, the best thing you can do is obviously send a super chat saying, wow, Mikey, great job. The second best thing you can do is go watch them or just at least like them. That's the third best thing you can do.
Mikey! Super chat £4.99.
Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. I was going to show you the file, but I think I've deleted the file of episode 2, which was rendered at 3 in the morning. But I've deleted it. I deleted the original the render. There we go. Thank you for the 5, and thank you Decknall for the 25 months. Wow, Mikey, great job. Thank you, bud. That's the nicest thing you've ever said. You normally say put the fries in the bag, so I appreciate it. Thanks for the 25 months at Parasocial tier, dude. Really appreciate it. Yeah, you're a fucking legend. If you haven't already, consider becoming a member. It says join around here. Join. If I say that, YouTube makes the button flash sometimes. Join. And it's literally, it's as cheap as £1.99. It helps me out. It's the only way that I can do these things like full time and bring out content consistently, weekly, all the time. So if you haven't already, please consider it. I've had a slow, steady decline of members because I've not been putting out as much content because I've been working on the roleplay game for so long. So if you would like to help out, consider becoming a member. It's literally very cheap. If you're already a member, you can gift a membership to someone else and let them join our community / Discord in chat. You can also buy stuff from warmag.com using my code Hellstorm. You can also buy things from gfuel.com / Gfuel in chat using code Hellstorm. That'll get you a discount. It helps me out as well. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, though, because obviously it's been all-consuming working on this. It's been great fun. I'm just really glad it's over. I'm just really glad it's done. Also, the final thing. Next week, I'm running a tournament, Hellstorm All-Stars August. And list submission is this weekend coming. It's Sunday at 8 PM. So if you would like to come and join the tournament in Sheffield at our premier venue, the Outpost, especially Outpost in chat as well. Because you can also use their link and buy stuff and helps me out too. There's a tournament this weekend. It'd be rude not to come. Be rude not to come. Thank you, chat. Thank you, mods, for spamming all the links. Appreciate it. Let me quickly catch up with chat before I continue. Also, yes, Outpost does alcohol now. So if you come into the tournament this weekend, next weekend, sorry, it's open till midnight on the Friday, which means more time for practice games. They also serve alcohol and have a takeaway there. Like, what more could you ask for in a tournament? And it has aircon. Imagine, and carpets. Aircon. It's amazing. No Warmag link. I really need to add one, but I don't. But you can just use code Hellstorm at checkout, and that will work. You get 20%. I think it's 20% off until the end of the month, I believe. Anyway, where was I? My missus had just spotted Georgie, and the first thing she said was, crikey, Mikey's punching. Jeez, love, don't hold back, will you? Love you, Mikey. Listen, 1, yeah. 2, rude. Put the RPG on the channel. What do you mean put the RPG on the channel? I must have missed what I said when you said that. 3 AM, that's some serious stamina. Thanks, bro. You'd be super proud it was sick. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy with the RPG. I'm really happy that everyone's really loved it. That's obviously like been the priority, that everyone's like super enjoyed it. I'm really chuffed with like how it looks and how it's come out, because I think there's a lot of things I could do better. But for something that I've not done before, to be like, right, here's quite literally more than 5 hours of content to edit and get into a video, is really fun, with like so many cameras and so many moving parts, so many microphones, so many people. Because I don't normally film like fucking more than 2 people at a time, really. And then it was just like, here's 4, have fun. And then I'm really happy with just like how it went. I think the actual like the game and the story was really fun. So this fucking song, I heard it in a parky shot and I hate it. It is the shop theme from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Carpets in Yorkshire. Well, I never. That's true. No use of Beastmen. Oh, so jokes aside, we almost had the entire campaign revolving around Beastmen. But we saw that, well, I had Louis check over the High Rollers preview video, because obviously High Rollers are a big UK D&D role-playing group on YouTube. And it's like Yogs, it's basically like half of Yogscast or like ex-Yogscast or whatever. And I said, like, watch it to like make sure we don't miss anything. And he was like, the entire story is basically the same. And I was like, bruh. Bruh, we can't just do a rinse and repeat. So, Louis, thankfully, managed to whip up a brand new story in like a week. We spent like, I think it was like 3 or 4 months of prep for to film, and then another month of editing for the 3 videos. A straight month of editing. But yeah, like the week before we were gonna edit, we actually delayed it by a week because I think we had like a complication of like we didn't have like a rule or something. We didn't have the injury table. That was it. The wound table, which obviously came up clutch in the last game. We didn't have the wound table, so we didn't really know how to do that. So we pushed the filming back 1 week, and then that weekend that we were supposed to film, they put out their stream. They streamed the Beastman saga basically, and then I was like, Louis, you better watch this, make sure we don't miss anything. See if there's anything picked up. He's like, beat for beat, it's almost identical. So I presume that what they'd used is like from the book, and ours was like not from the book because we were planning to have it from the book, but then we kind of had to like rehash it very quickly. And Louis smashed it, absolutely nailed it. I think the story was really fun. The progression was really good. How he handled it as well, handling like 2 chaotic players and Georgie, was he absolutely smashed it. And then yeah, I think it was really good. So if you haven't seen it, I really appreciate it. If you have seen it, there is one more video, but it's like a book review rather than, but like how Louis managed to run the campaign using it. So, but that's a little side spoiler, a little off-topic mention that won't get mentioned in the video, is that we were going to have Beastmen and then we binned it off. We binned all of the Beastmen off because of that. Yozcast, what year is this? 2010? Yozcasts are really relevant still. They're still really popular. They just have like loads of new people now. It doesn't feel like the same show. But Louis killed the GM. He did. Louis was very, very good. Very, very good. He was great. I've not really I've been DM'd by Louis once, I think. Actually, I don't think I have. I don't think I've actually had Louis as a DM before, but I know he's very good, and he proved it. So yeah, I think it was really good. A lot of people are saying, "Are we gonna do another one?" And I'll just say, we're not gonna do another one. You know what I mean? That we haven't planned what we are gonna do, but I think the idea of doing another one is definitely in everyone's lips. We just haven't decided what that is yet. So whether it's another old world venture, maybe it's a continuation of the story, maybe it's a continuation of the campaign, but like a new campaign, you know what I mean? Or whether we visit a different game, a different setting, a different company, we don't really know. But like, we really enjoyed it. We're really glad you guys enjoyed it. It's just not something I'm going to be doing the next month. I need a little break. Maybe towards the end of the year, you might start hearing whispers of something. Maybe early next year, that would probably be a good time for me to like dip my toe back in. But I had a few complications because I had a lot of assistance from Tesco, who was editing for me at the time. And I'm not giving their full name, but their username is Tesco. They were editing it. They edited the first episode and half of the second episode, and I was hoping they would plan. They were going to be doing it for the full thing, and then they've had to leave. so that kind of threw me through a loop as well. Mike, thank you for the 23 months, dude. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, dude. You're a fucking legend. Thanks for the 23 months. Thanks for the 23 months, dude. So yeah, so like basically the editing kind of got thrown back at me, which was quite funny. And they smashed the first edit, and I think the first edit is better than the other two. They're better edited than I am, but they couldn't finish the full campaign, sadly. So it ended up being me having to finish it, which was a little pain. Should have gotten Sainsbury's. Yeah, Sainsbury's would have been more consistent, clearly. Need minis if you do it again. Yeah, that was like a... It was a bit... We wanted to use minis, but it was a bit of like a contractual issue. Just for like full transparency. I wanted to use minis, but because of... it was a sponsored thing, we had to oblige by contractual terms, and one of them was you can't use minis. So, but I think it works well. I think the screen worked with the I think it was Roll20 that it was using. I think that worked really well. I don't think that was like a bad thing. I don't think that was I think it was good. I think like having like the screen and stuff actually worked really well because we recorded that as well at the same time. So like the battles, let's fucking close it down. I think the battles looked all right. It was like, yeah, in an ideal world, you have a fucking table of minis and do that. But I think the maps were like good. I think Louis did well. The problem we had was the laptop I was using was fucking lagging trying to run them.
Saying.
I'm trying to. I thought these looked good. You know what I mean? It gave us option to like put rules at the bottom, which wasn't great, but I got better at it. But I think this works really well. I think it looks quite good. You know what I mean? So, and you don't want it to be the focus on the maps all the time. You don't want to focus on just the minis, but it's all about the players. That's why we kind of like bounce between this view and then like the grid view, because I like once the minis are in place or the models are in place or whatever, you're not going to look at them anyway. They're not moving, you know. But yeah, I think yeah, realistically, it is always better. But I don't think this was terrible. I'm surprised they would let you use minis, but Roll20 was fine. Well, I can't really give details of like why we couldn't use minis, but just think about the property we were playing with. So yeah. Have you tried Tailspire? I haven't, no. I've only played Warhammer the Old World role-playing game and D&D. That's all I've played. I've had it very clear on screen with minis. It's sometimes hard to see what they are. What it is and what they are. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, like, I think with the cameras that I use for, like, battle reports, they'll be really good for it. But it was like, yeah, I think Roll20 just works really nicely. It was clean as well. It was clean, so. Anyway, we've got some little drama to talk about. So let's move on to that, shall we? Just want to say thank you for watching the RPG if you did. And if you haven't already, fine. It's made me interested in Warhammer RPG, so I'm going to have a look at more Old World or Wrath and Glory. Nice! Make sure you're, if you are looking, use my link. If you are looking, make sure you use my link. Thank you for the resub. Jordan McKellar, thank you. Thank you for the resub, dude.
Joined. Jordan McKellar celebrates 41 months of membership.
True,
Some
dude.
drama.
We've got a little bit of drama to talk about. I think a lot of fun would be Age of Sigmar Soulbound using Ulfenkhan setting. Ulfenkhan as a role-playing setting, Curse City would be really good. The Curse City as a role-play would be really, really good. And you have, if you want to do all the minis, you have them. So yeah. Anyway, if you're watching this on the second channel, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Apologies, I've been away for a week. I've been all consumed by the Warhammer the RPG that we've been doing. So apologies for not uploading for a week. But thank you for watching the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And when I say that, I'm talking about the second channel, chat. Anyway, you might have heard of we've got the way I'm planning to do this stream is we're going to do some mini news first, mini dramas, and then the big drama, which is the thumbnail. Okay, so the mini drama is, chat, have you heard of the world's most premier the world's most premier team event? I think they call it themselves, the world's best Warhammer 40,000 team event is obviously, allegedly, the WTC, the World Team Championships. You might have heard of it. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. Actually, it's All-Stars teams. That's true. It's Hellstorm All-Stars teams happening the 5th and 6th of December. But you might have heard of the WTC. And there's been a little bit of drama regarding it, because you know what I think when I think of premier event, when I think of one of the most prestigious Warhammer 40k tournaments in the world, quote unquote, is this. for your water fountain. This as your water fountain. Let that sink in, because they fucking need a sink, bro. They need a sink, bro. What is going on? This is what I've been informed is the was the water fountain for the WTC, which happened just over a week ago. This was where free water was available, and what you can see is it is a wooden pallet, which, you know, is a great start, with some sort of water fountain, a very rudimentary one, with a bucket, which I presume is, I think it's like an old bucket of pasta. I don't speak Austrian. But I think it's like an empty bucket of pasta to capture the water. And a hose pipe. World's most prestigious team event, chat, by the way. Just remember that bit. I don't understand Germany and Austria. I don't speak that either. Was this held in 1886? I think so. It'll make a lot more sense. Is it potato salad? It could be. Chat translators, can we work out what it is? It's a potato salad tub. Right, okay. Not something I'd expect at my hygienic water fountain. I donate to charities to replace things like that with safe water in deprived countries. Oh god, that's so funny. That's so bad, but also so funny. Does the tap have the ramshackle keyword? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hygiene expert, but something about a hose pipe outside gives me Legionnaire's degrees. You know what I mean? Disease. Legionnaire's disease. That's not the fountain. That's for washing your hands after pissing in the shed. No, it says the picture is quoted with, and this made me miss the fizzy water drink fountain from last year. So it's shot that Mr. Beast hasn't made a video replacing it with his Squid Games contestant survivors. I trapped 500 Warhammer players in a tournament hall with promised aircon that didn't work, and all they could drink from was this fountain that gave them disease. Could it be in the UK we have a hosepipe ban? So yeah, this is the world's most prestigious team event. This is where you're getting your, albeit free water, which is just abysmal, to be honest. And then there was also mention of the fact that there was only 5 to 7 public outdoor toilets, which I think they mean portaloos, for roughly 500 people was definitely one method of event management. So your water fountain is here, and if you do need to piss, you've got 5 to 7 toilets or portaloos outside. For 500 people! I don't get it. I don't understand how fucking... The thing is with it is, I know the response to this is like, wow, we're just whittle babies who do this off our own back. We're just volunteers. But like, when you've got 500 people come in, the defense of, oh, we're only volunteers is out of the window. It is out of the window. This is just a safety hazard. To me, this looks like a safety hazard, really. You can't say, why, I'm baby, we're all volunteers. If you're volunteers, you've got 500 people attending an event, you're very bad at managing stuff. You're very bad at managing events, you probably shouldn't be doing it. And also, if your response to paying £100 per player, you're joking. It was £100 a ticket. It's £100 a ticket, and this is what they're offering. I'm sorry, what? It's £100 a ticket. You got 500 people attending, and this is what you do for the free water. Why even fucking bother at this point? You know what I mean? Why even bother? But no, you can't just go, "Why, I'm baby, we're all volunteers." Well, one, you should be paying the staff that help you run this event because you're making money out of it. And two, if you're making money out of it, maybe think more of your customer base when it's fucking 30 to 35 degrees and this is the only place to get free water from. Absolutely diabolical. Diabolical, to be honest. Absolutely fucking awful. I'm not gonna quote everything. I'm not gonna quote everything, but they've got a lot of messages about about what the fucking that's been said. But a lot of it is like, "Wow, we're baby. We had to take some shortcuts," you know, and it's just like, it's just not on. Taking shortcuts at a 20-man event, yeah, fair enough. You know what I mean? 20-person event. Take a few shortcuts. When you are claiming to be the premier event of the year, the premier team event, and it's like 500 people are turning up, you have a duty of safety to deal with, and this is not it. You know? You have duty of care to deal with. This ain't it, bruv. This is awful. At least they won't be in queue for the water. So along with this, and then promised aircon that didn't work, absolutely awful. Supposedly there was like power outages as well, but I imagine power outages are out of their control. This was, though. This was in their control. You know what I mean? This was in their control. This is what they chose to do. People travelled all over the world from, like, obviously it was in Austria. People travelled from the United States, Canada, China, fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? This is a worldwide event, and then this is what they're greeted with. Absolutely abysmal. Abysmal, in my opinion. And I just don't think the people organising that shouldn't be running another one. Two, should be hanging their heads in shame at just how disgusting that is. To be honest. And I know what they'll say. You're just a keyboard warrior online. And it's just like, you're trying to give people Lyme's disease. You know? Maybe go, maybe we should go, you know what? Caught. We shouldn't have done that. Maybe go, I'm baby. We're just volunteers. Okay, if you're just volunteers, make the event free. If you just volunteer, make the event free. What are you volunteering for? Run the most prestigious event and fucking poison people. You know? I thought this was considered the high end for most large 40k tournaments. Yeah, literally. The most high end event. They fucking made. They had 5 toilets. They had 100 people per bathroom. A portaloo. 100 people per portaloo. And then if you want to drink afterwards, you might fucking get gangrene. Wild shit. Anyway, there's my there's my the little catch up for the WTC. Water tastes crap, you know? Water tastes copper. Makes you think of Zach of the LGT. Well, yeah, true. True. Maybe what's the WTC stands for. Event sponsored by Nagel, yeah. I wonder how many people came out with fucking just diarrhea afterwards. Probably quite a few. Oh, I was travelling, I was eating weird food. It's like, no, you just fucking didn't have fresh water to drink from. That hose builds character. Yeah. Yeah. Back in my day, we used to drink from a brown puddle. You know what I mean? Absolutely horrific. If you can't drink water, you would just have to drink G Fuel. Hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored. !1 G Fuel in chat. 1,350 euro per team and 70 euro per additional person to get diseases. Was it run by Fire Festival? Chat, someone Photoshop Fire Festival and this water fountain, because I think it goes well. You know what I mean? WTC just announced their camping solution. WTC just announced their camping solution for 2026. I mean, they had a bar where you could buy drinks. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I know that like bottled water was like awfully expensive. So then they went, oh, we'll put a fountain out, and then they just put that. And it's just like, why bother, bro? Why bother? Sounds like they chose a venue with no water and power issues. Sounds like they hired a cheap venue. Yeah, literally. Literally. You're true. That's very true. Like, power issues, you can kind of look past because it's like, that could be completely out of their control. But the fountain wasn't. They were like, yeah, that will do. I've taken £100 per person. WTC sponsored by the Wonka Experience in Glasgow. Wonka Tournament Championship! That's what it means! Wonka Experience Tournament Championship! Because they are all Wonkas who decided to run it. Wonka, I mean Plonker, by the way. Anyway, chat, that's the WTC drama. And you know what? Next year, people will be like, oh my god, it's the best event ever. I love going here. I fucking love the WTC. And it's like, yeah. And then you just fucking think of that. Every time, just think of that. You know what I mean? Did the unknown turn up? Yeah, you fucking put the water out. In other news, chat, you ever had a delivery? You've ordered something online. And then it's arrived and it's fucking wrong. And there's just nothing worse, is there? You ordered like a new box of Gundam the card game, new Type Rising booster pack, 24 packs, and it arrives and it's fucking a labubu. You know, has that ever happened to you? WTC for water toxic contaminated. Brilliant. Water, colon. You ever ordered 24 packs of Gundam the card game, new Type Rising, and you've got a labubu, a 24 karat labubu instead? You know? Has that ever happened to you? Because there's nothing more annoying. I mean, with Amazon, sometimes you just get like something free instead. They just like keep it. It's more effort for us to take it back. But have you ever had a delivery and it's arrived and it's not what you ordered, but better? Because somebody on Reddit did. Because it says, Games Workshop accidentally shipped me unreleased models. And as you can see, they've got a whole box of Votan and Vulcan and a Slaughter Brute. A Slaughter Priest, or whatever his name is. And then you can see there's a whole order sheet. The caption says, so a week or two ago, I pre-ordered the Black Templar and Grey Knight codexes. The tracking info I got for my order told me that my package was going to arrive today, which it did. But when I opened it, this is what I found. Upon inspection, I found that many, maybe all, not sure if these models do not release until later this month. None of these models are available on the shelf until next week, by the way, or this Saturday come in. Or even next week, next week. Like Monday, more like. That same page also shows that it also went from a local game shop in the USA. I'm Canadian. I see there's just a bunch of models that are going to a local game store to have some inventory and new models when they release. And as you can see from the pack, it's like every new release that's coming out next week, or like this week or whatever. And you can see how many there is. There's 2 Capricious transports. There's 3 Lord of Poxes. There's 3 Slaughterbound. There's 1 data card pack. There's 1 dice pack. There's 1 Salamander's dice. There's 4 Vulcan Histan. There's 2 Memnias. 2 Arcanist Evaluators. 2 Ironkin Steeljacks. 2 Buri Agniason. And then 2 Cathodian Earthshakers. All the new stuff. Like 2 everything. This is like... This is like a new army. It's like a whole ass army. And he posted on Reddit. I don't condone stealing, by the way. If you got a wrong package, make sure you send it back. But imagine. Imagine. Pinkerton's when? Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because he's literally in a different country. He's in Canada, and this is due to go to somewhere in the US. I ordered 2 books and got a whole damn new army and then out of myself. Yeah, literally. Literally. This was meant to go to a Games Workshop store, as far as I'm aware. And it arrived at his house, and then he posted on Reddit and then said, I do plan on contacting support and letting them know what's happened besides what my codex is. Chat, I would never, but if this was a film, if this was Minecraft, I would just order some more codexes. You know what I mean? If this was Minecraft, I would obviously order some more codexes. But if it's not, it's real life, I would contact support and say there's been a huge mistake and return it all. You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down, chat? Also, just for clarity, YouTube is having issues right now. It's not me who's like buffering. It's just YouTube. I can't really do anything. Would you mind then craft so you can Minecraft? I would, that's true. I would sell extra models on eBay and then the books I want in Minecraft. Yeah, literally. If I was playing in if this was a game in Minecraft, I would just sell them on eBay. I can see yourself looking at this in Wizard of the Coast and send a Pinkerton's letter after something like this happened with them. They could fucking try. Is it the guy? Oh, it's someone else. Why can't I receive incorrect orders? Chat, this is the closest. This is a recession indicator. You know that, don't you? This is a recession indicator when people are like pogging off someone getting an incorrect order. Congrats, happy for you. Nice. Right? This is the recession indicator. The only way that people can get slightly rich is by Games Workshop accidentally sending them models. The only time to keep the models, it wouldn't be worth the effort to pay to ship them back to you. Do you went to the shop? There's quite a lot here though. There's not a small amount, you know. There's not a small amount here. There's quite a lot. It's not like one of. If it's like one of each, you'd be like, yeah, whatever, just keep it. It's 4 Vulcanist stands at $45 each. I do plan on returning it. I don't care to keep any of these models. I just wish I had my codexes that I originally ordered. I love that he's just so mad that 2 books didn't arrive, but like half an army's arrived. He's like, ah, this is so inconvenient. This is so inconvenient. I can't believe this. My lobster is too buttery, my steak is too juicy, literally. The shop in question will be missing their release shipment for that week's release as you're holding it. They very likely much appreciate if you reached out so they know theirs will be arriving and can start the process of getting that shipment replaced by Games Workshop. God. There's always one in there. There's always one. Anyway, there you go. There's a little funny thing that happened. Just imagine that arriving at your door. It'd be so annoying. It's inconvenient. He can't play his armies. He can't play with his 2 codexes that are all online for free. Like, what could you even do other than say oops? Well, they won't know where he's gone. Unlikely know where he's gone. You know what I mean? Literally 10p worth of plastic. Yeah, true. Anyway, there's your little roundup of drama, your little catch up of what's been happening. There's little fun things. The big news in 40k is the game is dead. The game is over, chat. I don't know if you knew, but because of this one thing happening, it's just the game is dead. Warhammer is over. Pack it up. We're all done. Because there was this post, which was shared to me by Decknull, from Reddit. 29 upvotes, 127 comments, so you know it's going to be good. The game's gone, chat. It's over. I think this might be the most depressing thing I've ever seen for 40k. The game's lost its soul. And what's funny is this was posted 7 hours ago. I got sent this like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, all right, whatever. Finally, we're free. Yeah, literally. Finally, we're free, chat. It's over. And what is he talking about? He's talking about UKTC compliant terrain made of clear acrylic. Helpless ratio. I've not been able to play for 2 weeks and now he's dead. I hate being ill, literally. Yeah, this is what's killed Warhammer. Warhammer was fine until this very moment of clear acrylic terrain. This has killed Warhammer. It literally made it in the back. You know what I mean? It was like taking Lenny out to stroke the rabbits type dead. You know what I mean? That's a deep cut reference for you English students in chat. So this is it. This is what's killed Warhammer. It's plastic terrain, chat. And as you can see, clearly someone has just bought a laser cutter for like 100 quid and is trying to make some money back. That's all it is. They're in greenhouses. Imagine your orks are stood there and the space marines on the other side saying dirty greenskins, and they're saying like, don't throw stones in glass houses. People wanted GW to be more transparent. Yeah, literally. That's literally what's happened. So this is the UKTC acrylic terrain set that somebody's trying to sell on Etsy, which is very funny. Clearly, pun intended, yes. I don't know what you want me to say. This is those who hide behind clear acrylic shouldn't fire bolt guns. But can I get plunging fire from the top of those? No, because they'll see it coming. So yeah, this is the acrylic terrain that everyone's blown up about. As you can see, it's all UKTC compliant. It's acrylic with 3D printed connectors to hold it together. And then this is what it looks like on a board. And this is what it looks like on a board. Can you see it? Because I can't. What does it say? What have we got? A description. The terrain is made from 3mm thick clear acrylic, allowing you to always see what's behind terrains are sitting underneath, beneath the terrain. Ideal for top tables at tournaments where it all matters a little bit more, or for streaming tables so the viewers can see all the action. I can't. I would dread putting this on a fucking stream because one, it'd reflect all the light, which would be awful, and then it'd just be a mess because I fucking imagine all the models stood on top of each other. And then think about line of sight. Are you a TO looking for multiple sets? No, bro, I'm not looking for multiple sets. I'm not looking for one. 85 quid each. 85, or there's black corner plugs, or there's magnetic for 100. There's no pictures to say which is which. Imagine the top down. Where's the terrain? Yes. Yes, chat. Where's the terrain? Yes. That's all I want to say. Yes. The bases option is all the sides and bases which can then be sent on the home by gluing all the sides together. You can then choose out some black corner braces to strengthen them. You'll still need to glue the terrain together, but the braces give it a little extra structural support. The third option is to add magnets. This option is for if you like to disassemble the terrain after you're playing it to enable you want to store it. 85 quid and I gotta pay for shipping? Switch off the lights and play in the dark. Stream will be amazing. Brilliant. Spend all this money on a studio mic and then turn all the lights off. Mikey, dare you? No. Oh, it would be funny though. Chat, donate 90 quid and I'll buy it right now. Collectively, donate 90 quid right now and I'll buy it. And I'll use it on stream. I bought the terrain that killed it. Now, the thing is with it, it's fucking clear. So imagine trying to work out line of sight. Because I use clear acrylic bases at my tournaments for some terrain, but not all. Some terrain that not all. To like represent like the footprint of where the buildings are. And that was killing terrain. You know what I mean? That was killing Warhammer when that first came out. When I first made the video about the tissue paper that blocked line of sight. Remember that one back in the day? 2 years ago now. However, the overall, the concept of it, the concept of like see-through terrain so I can see where your shit is not the worst idea I've ever heard. It is not the worst idea I've ever heard, I won't lie. Maggie wants 10 sets. Chat, I kind of want 1 set to see what it's like. What happens if you use a laser to check line of sight? Fucking, as soon as you hit some acrylic, it just fucking reflects and shoots you in the eyeball. So, like, the concept of being able to see models through the terrain, I'm not mad at. Obviously, being completely see-through acrylic with 1940s Victorian windows for decoration is just not my jam. You know what I mean? Now, if this was, like, frosted acrylic, you know, coloured acrylic, maybe with, like, some, like, plastic framing or something, it wouldn't be too bad. But see-through acrylic with fucking shit Victoria, it's like it's like Fisher-Price terrain. Look at it. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you bought a laser cutter a week ago and you're trying to get your investment back. It seems like nice quality. Nice quality! It's 3mm acrylic, bro. It's the cheapest thing you can buy. It's 3mm acrylic and some 3D printed angle brackets. Everyone's wargaming on a board for the 2-bedroom semi-detached houses, yeah. Where's my bay window at? You know what I mean? Why is it all repeated? So yeah, this is what's killed Warhammer, by the way. Just because one guy, I've never seen anything like this on Etsy, like cause a ruckus. You know what I mean? Paint some curtains. Imagine you fucking there, hand painting some curtains on it. It's like, it'd be like fucking doing when like you're a kid and you get them like clear plastic things that you hang up in the window. It's exactly the same. It'll brush marks and all, you know. If you want to see the models play AOS on the old world. Couldn't even be bothered to design it so it snap fits together. Instead it needs fucking black clamps to hold together. And you've got to glue it as well. Love the windows. In the grim dark of suburbia, there is only war. Chat, come on. We can do it together. We can buy a set. It would be funny to order it. It would be extremely funny to order it. Emperor's new clothes of Warhammer terrain. Don't order it because the creator will think people actually want it. Anyway, there's like there's the Reddit thread's quite funny. It says, I think the game might be the most impressive thing I've ever seen. At 40k, the game's lost its soul. I don't think this is any way representative of how most people play 40k, even those using comp layouts, which I tend to, since I like balanced layouts and not spend an hour on table setup. Generally don't want to play and train this in-spin looking, especially not at that price, because that is expensive. That is expensive. How much is it, like a normal UKTC terrain pack? A normal pack is £91. So you're not really saving any money. Oh no, my apologies. Ignore me, because that's not all of the ruins. Why would they sell Why wouldn't they sell all of it in a bundle? Why wouldn't they sell all of it in one bundle? What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's £101. That's well expensive. That's well expensive. So yeah, so it's really expensive, and it's not much cheaper than the official one. Why would they sell any of it at all if you want to ask that question? I'm talking about the MDF one, like the original. The official UKTC pack is over £100. Yeah, there's loads of copies at like 60. I get the people out there with those opinions, which are rather difficult to figure out how prevalent the opinion is, how much it impacts or people play competitive outside speculation. I made something like this for my Necrons, but I was going for cool. That's sick. Oh, that's a bit much. Oh, it's fucking... It's aluminium extrusion. That looks really good. The ingenuity of using aluminium extrusion and then transparent acrylic looks really good. It looks real. I hate Reddit. You know what I mean? It'll be well sharp on the end, but that's cool. Do it for All Stars, bottom table. Yeah, I've tried. I said, like, let's donate and do it, and not one person got involved. See, that was cool. That was pretty nice. You know, a bit of aluminium extrusion, some nuts and bolts, and a bit of green acrylic. You got yourself a Necron board. And even the bases as well. I like the built-up bases. You just have to pretend they're not there, but like I like the built-up bases. It looks cool. So that looks pretty decent. And that's just acrylic, really. What they're meant to be, trays in shells where he puts his freeze-dried town battle suits on in Gundam collection. True, based. I found something on Etsy. This is obviously a reflection of 40k as a whole. The fact that someone thinks that this is something is worth putting on Etsy is damning indictment of where the game is going. Bro reads one Twitter post and makes it his entire personality, you know what I mean? That's literally all that says. No, it is. It just means that somebody tries to sell it on Etsy. I know you want to be upset. This isn't a heroic reach. I mean, you're wrong, but I'm not going to convince you, apparently. This guy's 16. This guy's 16 years old, promise you. Had his account for a year. It's adding up. Yo, Papaya! Thanks for the 16 months at our highest tier, dude. Don't put it on the bottom table.
Papa, Nikolai celebrates 16 months of membership. Don't put it on bottom table. I don't deserve that.
Don't deserve that. Thank you for the 16 months, dude. One fucking legend. Chat, I went... Chat, I was wrong. Chat, I was wrong. I went on his posts and I'm like... I really shouldn't have. Because I was like, this guy's 16 because that's why he's getting so mad at something so benign. You know what I mean? He's so mad at something so benign. I shouldn't have got his posts. Oh, I really I don't know if I should share. Reddit's a public platform, right? I'm not doxing someone by looking at what they've posted before. 19 hours ago. Does anyone else feel lonely in their marriage, or is it just me? Oh I, 39, male, have been married to my wife for over a decade, and did some thinking today after yet another argument. Oh, whoop whoop. Fucking whoop whoop. No whoop whoop. No whoop whoop in chat, bro. I come to the conclusion that I'm alone, even though I live with my wife and daughter. My wife has never really been the romantic type. It's not always been as bad as it is now. But any attempt I make to treat her like a wife and not just a co-parent I live with gets shot down. She won't flirt with me when I try. She doesn't kiss/let me kiss her goodbye. On the very rare occasions we have sex, it's very clear her going through the motions.
Member, James Stancliffe celebrates 17 months of membership. Red green, embarrassed smiley face emoji. Hope you like my tailless fire pics on Discord.
This is
photos.
real, bro.
Romantic face emoji.
Bro, this is real. What is happening? Thanks for the 17 months. Oh, bro. Bro just needs an outlet. Bro just needed an outlet and he's getting shot down. His wife doesn't feel lonely. She's probably finding company elsewhere while he cries about perspex. Oh. Oh, bro. Oh, bro. That's not the first time he's talked about it either. I'm going to stop looking at his posts. There is sharing and oversharing. Yeah, I think mixing your relationship problems on the same account as you ranting about Warhammer 40,000 terrain is probably oversharing. When he's like the third channel, I'll stop marriage counseling. Oh, bro. Why is he publicly posting about this? I don't know. Look, we've all posted something embarrassing on Reddit, but that's what throwaway accounts are for, you know what I mean? Oh, how do I get this back on track, chap? Someone say something funny. This is something for the therapist. I can't read the comments knowing this now. I'm reading the comments about pineapple on pizza. You know what I mean? And it's just, I just know what's going on in the background. I can't look at this anymore. Link him to agree with the bell discount code. Oh, bro. So because I criticize the product, it's an indication that I'm depressing. That is literally what you said. I know reading comprehension is a lost art, but that is very much not what I said. May want to give my comment another read, though I think you just gave me a look into what's going on in your mind. I think I know too much about this person already. I pointed out that seeing exactly one Etsy post of some shitty terrain is about as much bearing on the game as one Etsy post saying you like questionable pizza shopping has on your character in the person. It's ridiculous. The sky is falling claim based on nothing. My reading comprehension is just fine there, buddy. You know that was fucking the zinger. Call him a buddy. They're not buddies. Chat, they're not buddies at all. I'm trying to decide if your rebuttal is based on whether you have a hyper-competitive list that you destroys people at all costs, or whether you think that chess and 40k are the same in terms of aesthetic. Oh my god, it's still going. This is... It's having 4 conversations all at the same time. One was 40 minutes ago. Unless it just got refreshed. Ah... By far, the worst part is I expected his post history to be like questionable porn or alt-right subreddits. Something normal to get ashamed of looking at. No, not fucking marriage counselling 101. Crashing out over Perspex is wild. He needs an outlet, Alex! He just needs something. He needs to feel something again. At least he doesn't have an OnlyFans. What does that mean? What does that mean, bro? I would definitely never play in any place or any event using stuff like this. I'm only heartened by how often I'm seeing a very concept mocked. Seriously, at the stage where you're using this, it's only a small step to just using footprints and nothing else. It looks absolutely awful. I don't think footprints are a bad idea. And whenever I put the fucking Games Workshop set out, people like love it because they take all the terrain off and just use the footprints. You may as well use unpainted models at this stage. Bro, don't catch me on a fucking practice night. Bro, better not catch me on a practice night where I'm using proxies and unpainted models galore. You need something transparent and easily seen through to reassure him. Fucking hell, Lambo. Fucking hell, dude. I love painting 4K and the lore, but I don't play the game. I never thought I'd see the day when competitive 4K would have become worse than the bad days of War Machine and Hordes. Bro. I'm definitely not opposed to competition, but this is just crazy. If you're not playing 40k for at least 1% of enjoyment of the setting, what the fuck are we even doing here? Some people just like the game, bro. Why are we gatekeeping, like, in people's enjoyment? I thought of something really mean that I definitely shouldn't say out loud, but I'm just really struggling now to read this post and not just come out with really mean things. Games Workshop themselves are actively trying to stop people from doing stuff like this. No, they're not. The tutorial companion says you should use a range of terrain, says that placements are only a suggestion and didn't even have placement measurements until people ask for it. And even says that official base sides are only required for tournament play and that you should ignore them if you're doing another type of game. Where does this say people shouldn't use acrylic terrain? Say it, no. No, it was really mean. It was really mean, and it was about his marriage. All right, that's all I'll say. I'm not saying it. How does this sentence mean that they're trying to stop people using acrylic terrain? I don't get it. I fail to see how one is seriously representative of the game as a whole. Bro doesn't understand. The game's lost its soul. How can it contain its soul in see-through terrain?
Mikey!
Thanks for the
£4.99. Mean things.
Brilliant. Thank you, mate. Thanks for the 5. Bringing up Games Workshop support of Thomas might not be the best argument. No. No. Especially when Games Workshop just has meetings with the tournament organisers and says people who house rule things are trying to get Games Workshop attention and it just doesn't work. With a meeting with me sat in it. A creative hobby where you're not allowed to do whatever you want. Yeah, literally. I didn't realise we were fucking just gatekeeping like how people enjoy the game. The terrain looks shit, don't get me wrong. But bro's just got a laser... Look, bro's just got a laser cutter. You know what I mean? He's got a laser cutter, and he's trying to... He's got fucking just pieces of plastic that say CP on it. You know what I mean? Bro's just trying to get his money back. He's made an investment, and he's trying to get his money back. He even sells stuff that says your logo here. How shit is that? Personalized objectives. It's just fucking the most basic flag you've ever seen. You know? Bro just got a laser cutter and does the most basic PNG MDF circular discs. Can't believe how Warhammer's lost its soul. Yeah, it's just slop. Bro just sells slop, and then you're making a big deal out of it on Reddit. Does he do anything good? Or is it all slop? Bespoke acrylic tape cake toppers. We're gatekeeping this. We should be gatekeeping how people enjoy their marriages. Bro, I'm a bad human. Am I a bad human for finding that so funny? It's just, you know, if you're going to post on Reddit and fucking try and get people mad, don't post about your fucking marriage 12 hours prior. Maybe a couple of months ago, fine. 12 hours prior? Jesus fucking Christ. I just can't read the comments. Reading the comments knowing that's going on in his life is just making me feel awful. He should buy his wife a gift from the Etsy shop. Get her a custom cake topper. I miss you. Yo, how's it going? How's it going, chat? It's not funny, all right? Let's be honest, it's not funny. It's not funny, chat. Anyway. I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate. I'm just laughing. I'm laughing so much. Anyway, chatterinos. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny, chat. It's not funny. I had no idea that's the way it was going to go, honestly. I just thought we were bitching about terrain. Anyway, speaking of marriages, have you heard about the marriage of going first? I don't know. How do I segue this?
Mikey! Super chat 7.
Yo, Michael Steele! Thank you for the $10, dude. Really appreciate it. It's going to be even less funny if he sees this video. Yeah. I'm trying to think of it as a human being and not a Reddit user. I think I'm getting cancelled, aren't I? Let's be honest. I think this is where I get cancelled. Is that what we're doing? I try not to get cancelled, but you know, I think I'm stuck. Right, shall we talk about challenger cards, chat? Can we move on to challenger cards? Do you think that's doable? Do you think we can talk about challenger cards? Really, it's own fault for posting r/40k because that's not even a real subreddit who uses that. Yeah, it's not even Warhammer 40k, it's just r/40k. Challenger card, feeling lonely in marriage. I can't even look. I can't even look at chat anymore. Stop it, chat. Stop. Forget about don't forget that ever happened. It's definitely not going to be a clip on the second channel, because it's hilarious. I'm just going to fucking delete his name from every scene. I like challenger cards. That's how I score. Wife's up 15 points. Chat, I'm a horrible human. I'm just laughing at people like, this guy's a cunt, and just leaving. I can see the chat number, the viewer count go down the more I laugh. The more I laugh, the more the viewer number goes down. Which says a lot about how I am acting on stream, but it also says a lot about you that haven't left. New stream. Right, let's start the stream again. Yo, welcome to Hellstormwargaming, brand new stream. Nothing's happened on this stream at all today. I'm going to stop reading chat because that's relevant to a different thing. Welcome to Hellstormwargaming's live stream. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. Wow, what do you call this? Bro, I was just trying to make my wife happy. You know what I mean? I was just trying to make my wife happy, alright. Anyway, chat, there's been a lot of Control's Reddit looking at people's failed marriages live. I'm looking at terrain! If the slop locked in. Welcome, sloppers! Let's point out the street time with everything that's happened. Reddit hates his terrain. His wife hates him. There we go. It's just sad. Bro, just fucking buy some flowers. How you get it sorted? Can I finish on that? Can we move on now? Chat, can we... You might keep anything interested on Reddit. I'm really trying to move on. Chat, I'm really trying to move on, bro. Come on. It's now an Am I the Asshole reaction stream channel. Shall I post it on Am I the Asshole? Am I the Asshole? I was talking about this guy complaining about acrylic terrain. Turns out, marital issues. There's no moving on. Be serious now. I shouldn't have shown it. But it was too funny. Right, I'm gonna open it. I'm looking at more Reddit. Shall I check their post history before I open it? Oh, fucking hell, not another one. That was a joke. Oh, bro just fucking talks about War College? I don't know what that is. What's r/war college? Credible military history and science. I mean, typical Warhammer player. I'll get over that. I think I'll get over that. Fucking, oh god, it's marital issues again. Maggie, I hear you have a lot of acrylic at home. How's things with you and your other half? Oh, bro. Oh, bro, I'm sleeping on the sofa every night. Yeah, things are great. Ever since I got rid of the acrylic, it's been great, to be honest. That's why it's acrylic, so everyone can see the paint like you can see it. Oh, bro. Bro was just capturing seconds behind the terrain, one single tear falling while he's moving his models and no one can see, and now he can't even do that. He's like, let me just move these... I've got some random cam on, I got nothing. Here's some terrain for you, I got nothing else. He's like, I'm just going to move these models. Anyway, that's the end of my moving phase. This maroon cheese more brittle than clear acrylic. Right, okay. Chat, I wanted to talk about the go first problem, but here we are. What? I don't know if it's good or bad that I look at people's post history when I think they're being a knobhead on Reddit. You know what I mean? If they're being a knobhead, is it okay to look at their post history? Can't roll behind the ruins, true. True, can't roll behind the ruins. I can't read chat, it's so funny. Absolutely gay. You should start a new channel, clear based. His wife cheats on him, so he cheats IRL with warlocks. Chat, stop. Please. I'm just here trying to move on and I just don't know. I'm just speechless. Yo, did you hear about the Dawn of War modder that pushes a definitive edition out there? If his marriage was open, would be a GW layout. Did you hear about Dawn of War, chat? I'm trying to move on. Did you hear about the Dawn of War where they got 10,000 orcs on one screen? Did you hear about it? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I'm trying to move on. 3,000 orc boys does work in definitive edition, by the way. Orc count kept on increasing to the point where after more than 10,000 orcs, Dawn of War hit single-digit frames per second and became unplayable, but it still ran. I mean, 10,000 plus models on screen, I call that a win for performance and stability. I love fucking how long it takes to load, bro. Only 400 points as well. This is what it looks like playing Daka Daka. Or more Daka. Back in the day, this is what it looked like. That is pretty impressive, though. 10,000 orc boys all on one screen. I do wonder what his rig's running. Gunnison was eventually able to make 47,504 orc boys before the game died. It took over 7 hours, they said, while publishing the screenshot below. At the end, it was still chugging along at 10 frames per second. That is wildly impressive. I can feel the heat from the graphics card here. That is wildly impressive, jokes aside. 47,000 orcs. Absolutely wild. Performance is fantastic. It took a lot of cultures to start impacting them. Then I'm hyped to try some big matches. This is a Herculean effort, and for 140,000 points close as well to getting good for old WoW. For the initiator, this is the name given to the wonderful moment when orcs gain nothing close to momentum to launch devastating system wide invasions. Yada 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 yada. Because I think this guy was like a playtester for with Relic to make sure it actually worked. They just went, yeah, we'll test it. Just needs to upgrade his PC. So no, fair play, fair play. Quite an impressive feat to get 50,000 orc boys all working on the game, and it only crashing out, only really starting to struggle, like mega struggle, at 10,000 orc boys on screen, which is obviously quite impressive. It's a low poly game, don't get me wrong. It's an old game that's got a new skin on it. It's not a new game, but that is pretty good. Especially like new games where you can fucking only render like 20 dudes on screen before they start like going off, you know what I mean? 10 seconds per frame. No, it's not like playable, but it's not awful. 10 seconds per frame. I thought it was 10 frames a second per 10,000. Did I just fucking read that wrong? Yeah, single digit frames per second with 10,000 on screen. And then after that, 10 seconds per frame. Yeah, fair enough. 10,000 though, pretty decent. That is impressive, let's be honest. Anyway, right, chat, I think we've all moved on. I think. The stream has taken a 10. We're going to get back on track. Chat, there's been a lot of, like... My voice is going, I'm just, like, thinking. Chat, there's been a lot of discussion about... that we've been... We've ruined that YouTube video, yeah, a little bit. There's been a lot of discussion about challenger cards recently. You might have heard of them. I don't know if you have, but if you haven't already, challenger cards are a catch-up mechanic built into 140k in the latest mission pack, where essentially if you are 6 points behind at the start of a battle round, you can draw a challenger card, which is essentially a stratagem and a secondary mission at the same time. You can only use one or the other. But if you are 6 points behind, you can essentially gain a card, an extra secondary from this shared deck of 9, where you can be in 4 quarters and get a point for each one. You can kill one model from 2 units to get 3 points. You can do an action to get 3 points. It's essentially like a catch-up mechanic. But the general consensus has been is when challenger cards came out, people liked them. But then there was a couple of whispers that challenger cards were way too strong, and they should be banned. And people kind of ignored them. But now it's like every day I see a post. Every day I see a post about Warhammer balance. And one of the top comments is, we need to ban challenger cards. You know, challenger cards need to be banned. But there's a post 5 days ago, actually. I was going to talk about this last week, but I completely forgot. There's a post that's like, is it time to seriously consider banning challenger cards? I was arguing in another thread, so I went over to get the latest go first win rate from Goonhammer Stats. And this is the go first win rate for Warhammer 40k. According to Goonhammer Stats, which obviously run the Tabletop Battles app, and the Tabletop Battles app is where these stats are from. One, I think it's absolutely crazy that the wild numbers, difference in numbers.
Mikey! Super chat £9.99. Chat, remember her to drop a like even if your marriage is unhappy.
For God's sake. Thank you for the temper buyer. I fucking appreciate it, man. What a fucking legend. One, I thought it was really interesting to see that nobody plays the ritual, but everybody plays Take and Hold. I thought that was quite interesting. However, they are considering to ban challenger cards because of the go first win percentage being rather low. Minimum 46.1, and the maximum of the go first win rate being 49.52 on the lowest data set. So let's bring it up to another one. I think it's 47. That's probably Pers Defoe is a good one. So what this person is claiming is because the go first win rate is maximum less than 4% less than the 50%, that challenger cards need to be banned. Why does everyone play Linchpin? I don't know. Linchpin and Take and Hold I can understand. Linchpin being one of the most played missions. It's a kind of a fun one, don't get me wrong, but just like, it's interesting it's been played 11,000 times and the next highest is like 9,000, you know? But they posted saying that the big change between last season and this season, forgetting completely new armies, forgetting completely new points, forgetting no mission rules, like mission shenanigans when we're playing, they said that challenger cards completely ruin it, because look at the go first win rate in the last season. And as you can see, 63,000 people played Take and Hold, and the go first win percentage was 49.52, and now for Take and Hold, it's 47. A clear, huge difference of 2%. You know? 2%. And they're saying that this humongous change of 2 whole % is because of challenger cards. And there's a video a month ago, because this sentiment isn't like exclusive. There's a month ago, Jack Theory, Challenger cards crash out. Jack crashes out about Challenger cards for 42 minutes and 58 seconds. Now, obviously there's a slight difference in percentage. Not a huge difference, but a slight difference. And it is objectively worse to go second. You know what I mean? It is objectively worse to go second in a game of Warhammer 40k. It is with the stats to back it up, it is factual to say going first is worse. However, the amount that of going first is worse is so minimal. You know, it is like 2.5%, 2% on average worse than going second would obviously be 50 odd for, so it's like a 6% difference. But the thing is with it is people are like, oh look, going first is worse, so we need to ban Challenger cards, forgetting that going first is worse because there is a really big thing of the fact that going second you can score primary at the end of the last turn, not the first part of the turn, not at the beginning. Because obviously all primaries is scored in the command phase, usually from turn 2, usually from the second battle round. But if you go second, you actually score, rather than the command phase, you score at the end of the turn. And I think that bit is what people are forgetting. We have no additional rules in these games anymore, which is obviously like a big factor. And I think blaming less than 2% difference on Challenger cards is really dumb. Like, really, really dumb. Because I don't think the problem is Challenger cards. Now, a lot of people don't like Challenger cards whatsoever. They are dead against them. Because they're broken, because they can be manipulated by top players, where you know, you can score just shy of what you need or the max point just so you can draw a Challenger card. And I think that is a little bit annoying, don't get me wrong. But I think people claiming that people are winning games because they are artificially decreasing their score so they can keep drawing Challenger cards is really fucking dumb. Because the main issue, really, is every argument I've seen about Challenger cards is that, well, they can keep their score down, then on the last turn they can score 15 points on primary, so we need to ban Challenger cards. I watched this 43-minute video from Jack talking about it. And, like, I think Jack's a nice guy. I know him personally. This whole video is about Challenger cards crash out, but his entire problem with 40k is going second. And it's better because you score primary at the end of the game. This isn't a problem. I don't understand how people can sit there and go, oh, the problem with the game is Challenger cards. No, the problem with the game is going second lets you get way more primary than going first. Because ultimately, if you go first, you have to show your hand first. You have to move out onto objectives. You have to go and move into position. You have to draw cards first, which are usually harder because if you're going first, then behind enemy lines is shit. Area denial, you lose that unit. You always trade the middle unit if you draw area denial. If you get engaged, you've got to overextend into nothing. Because usually, if you get engaged on all fronts, it's quite nice. Because you can extend and then shoot stuff and charge things and do damage. Whereas if you go first and draw a card, and it forces you to extend your army, usually you can't retaliate and do anything with that unit other than scoring the card. Whereas if you go second and draw the same cards, you can usually charge a unit to the middle, which means you're not having to just waste the unit. You're actually charging and killing the opponent's unit. If you get extend, you can usually move out, get extend battle lines, charge as well, or you can get angles on things and shoot. Because you went second, because the other person just naturally had to go first and had to extend early and grab objectives, because the whole game is about moving into the middle of the board and standing on some circles, you know what I mean? Warhammer is moving into the board, standing on circles, you know? And a lot of people are just like going, Challenger cards need to be banned because this guy won because he scored Challenger. Whereas the problem that people have is going first is shit. Because, one, you are punished for moving out because you lose everything that you move out unless you're hidden behind some acrylic terrain. And then the person going second not only gets to retaliate to everything that you're doing because you showed your hand first, in that they also get the end of the game scoring, so they can score a bunch of primary. Now, before I read chat, I will say, and I will give ground, where I think challenger cards, their biggest problem is the fact that they have an arbitrary scoring system in the system that we have. So Warhammer 40k, in a game, you have 100 points available. You have 10 points for being painted and based and whatever. You have 50 points for your primary, and then you have 40 points for your secondary. I.e., then the maximum you can score in primary is 50 points, and the maximum you can score in secondaries is 40. That's how the score is made up out of 100 points. Challenger cards are actually added on after adding primary, after adding secondary, you add in challenger on top. So the point of that is to kind of not tie you into either one. And if you're on the back foot, you've only managed to score secondaries, you aren't penalised because you scored no primary. And you and vice versa, if you only score primary and never score a card and you're drawing challenger cards, you aren't penalised for scoring primary and then you don't score anything extra for the challenger cards. They are added on top. Now the problem with that is, again, because you can go second, and they have a better win percentage, they have a more chance of winning because of the go first win rate is so low compared to going second, is that they can get minimal primary throughout the game and keep their score low, so then they can keep drawing challenger cards. And then they can, on the last turn, get a huge primary point swing, because that is actually the real catch-up mechanic in 40k, is the going second and getting the end of turn scoring. And the issue is that you can get this massive primary point swing. You can actually then max out primary, even though you've been losing the game through the other 4 turns, because you went second, because the other person managed to get on the objectives first. And sometimes you don't always trade onto those objectives. And then you get the challenger points added arbitrarily on top. Now, I think that is an issue. That is a problem because of the fact going second is better. It's not a problem with challenger cards. It's a problem with going second, because going second is objectively, factually better than going first. And challenger cards only adds to that. It isn't the problem. It is not the causation of the issue. It is an additional alert, like warning, that going second is just better in Warhammer. And the issue is as well, if you are going second, you can, granted, control if you are going to get those challenger cards. Because if you go first, you have to score X amount of points. And then going second, you know... Thank you. Thank you for the 5.
Sabotage is a problem for challenger cards if your opponent is doing it and you went first, as they don't score it until the next round.
Exactly, that's what I'm referring to. If you go first, you score X amount of points. Your opponent knows how many points you have, and they know how many points they are allowed to score, quote unquote. They're allowed to score to still draw a challenger card because they are drawn at the start of the battle round, not the start of the turn. And the issue is that when you are elected to be given a challenger card, not the challenger card, because people are saying challenger cards need to be banned, and I just think personally they're all fucking wrong, because there are 2 ways to fix challenger cards to make them work perfectly. Is you draw them at the start of your turn or at the end of the command phase, because either way, at the start of your turn, that would account for your opponent being in a huge lead because they've scored a bunch of primary, maybe, but it wouldn't allow you to control how many points you are behind at the start of a battle round, because your opponent would be able to go, at the start of their turn, they're going to be able to draw a challenger card if I score loads of secondaries, so now I can control it, and vice versa. With doing that, you kind of swap you roll reverse almost. But maybe if you did it at the end of a command phase, you both have had the time to score primary points. Your opponent, granted, has been able to score secondaries, but you could always change the timing. I don't think that's the perfect fix. I think the best fix is to make challengers part of the secondaries, because it's a secondary. It functions like a secondary. The actions are like a secondary. They're drawn like a secondary. Why are they added on to the points afterwards? If they capped out in your secondaries, or even if they just went, okay, it's part of the primary score because fucking why not? Then the problem with going second and the fact that you can score loads of points on the last turn is not compounded and added to the fact that challenger cards go on top of that and make the win look awful. And you go, he beat me by 15 points because he had 13 points with challenger cards. No, he beat you by 15 points because he scored 15 at the end, and you never got the opportunity to completely counter your opponent and then score instantly. You always had to counter your opponent and hope the opponent couldn't counter you first. The issue is going second. The issue is going second. It's not challenger cards. It just makes me laugh. Just fucking everyone going, challenge cards need to be banned. And it's like, no, there's a fundamental issue with going second. It's better, and it always has been. Statually, like statistically, it's always been better. This is just the most recent one. And then this percentage is just compounded that fact. You know what I mean? I just think, why do we need it in the first place? I think a catch-up mechanic is good because if you are playing a game and you are just outright losing, it comes to a point where there's nothing to play for. You know what I mean? After so many turns, your opponent gets so far ahead and it's turn 3 or whatever, and they're like 30 points ahead or something, it can feel like you've got nothing to play for. Like, why bother continuing? The idea of a catch-up mechanic is to continue, like, give you them little dopamine hits in the turns to be like, oh, well, I'm losing, but I might be able to score a few extra points. I'm losing, but I might be able to get this. I'm losing, so I might be able to do that. The idea of that is because in a game of 3 hours, because the game's far too long, let's be honest, in a game of 3 hours, how do you keep someone engaged for that long? You know what I mean? They've added stratagems a lot to be reactive, give it a back and forwards. Like Overwatch is one of the most engaging stratagems in the game because during your opponent's turn you can shoot. You know what I mean? It's not great, but it's one of the most engaging stratagems because you get the backwards and forwards of it. If you move, I can Overwatch. That's called interaction. Whereas if you don't have a catch-up mechanic at all, then it's hard to keep people playing. It will arguably just lead to more concessions, you know. In the events that I've run with challenger cards, I've not had as many concessions in an event as I would normally have. Like again with the stats, I think we've had 2 concessions in 2 tournaments, so average 1. And then in previous events, we've definitely had more than 1 per event. We've had multiple concessions per tournament. You know, skill issue, great. So yeah, I think ultimately people are going challenger cards are the problem, are wrong, are outright wrong. Challenger cards are adding to the issue that going second is too good. Being able to score prime at the end of the game is too good, you know? Making them closer and more engaging games is good. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of challenger cards, is to make the game more engaging for both players throughout the game, not just during the first couple of turns until you find out who's basically won. So... Easy solution. Let's move on to the board and stand on octagons. Brilliant. Brilliant. How do you fix it if not scoring at the end, though? So, the issue is you'll see that most games, if you look, I don't have the stats, but if you look at a lot of, because obviously, like, I have my own personal stats on ITC battles or tabletop battles or whatever. If I put games and I put 10th edition, stats, sorry. Oh, just save them, excellent. Think about them later. If I put 10th edition, you know what I mean? Like, these are my personal stats for this edition. An average of 77% win rate if I go second. You know what I mean? An average of 77% win rate. That is all of 10th edition. If I put just Pariah Nexus, I have a 66% win rate if I go second. You know what I mean? Focus. Again, these are my personal stats. Fucking bang average bang average Jeff over there. 5 wins, 5 losses, and a draw. This obviously isn't every game. It's just every game that I've had that's like a tournament or a practice game. And I played a lot more games, and my percentage is higher. Am I getting a 13% increase going second? No. Because of challenger cards? No. But the issue is that going second is just better. You know what I mean? Because you have, at the end of every game, if you go second, you have the fucking, the huge point score, because you can walk onto objectives uncontested, because your opponent doesn't have another turn. And then you go, well, I'm going to score max primary now, because you've got 7 models on there, and I've got 8. You've got 6 models on there, I'll advance and get 9 on there, or whatever. And the problem is people are blaming challenger cards because they are added on top of that. If you think about it, the issue really is that people who have challenger cards go from being able to score max 50 primary to max 65. You know what I mean? Because they are added on arbitrarily afterwards. And I think that is the main problem that people have with challenger cards. If you weren't able to score 15 primary at the end, and then your challenger cards on top, and it was all one score, then it'd be very different. It would not be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue at all. So I personally think that's the problem, is arbitrarily adding them on with no cap onto our other things that have a cap. You know, even if it was like add on to primary until primary is maxed, then add on to secondary, because then you can't cap out, you can't add these on top, because you can score. If you manage, you can probably manage it, but you can score like over 100 points now in the game if you manage to keep as a challenger throughout, and then last turn score enough points to max out primary, max out secondary, and have your challenges added on top. It's 12 for challenger cards, not 15. My apologies. My apologies. So yeah, you can essentially score 62 points on primary if you think about it that way. You can score 52 on secondary. It's because they're added on top. That's the issue. You know? It's not even turn 5, because turn 5, having a challenge card turn 5, the problem's already too late, you know? The issue is your score is added on top. It doesn't have the cap. So you can be a challenger throughout the game and end up maxing your score and then scoring more points, you know? Like I said, if you manage to get challenger cards every single turn, you can score 112 points in the game. It caps out at 100, but you have the option of scoring 112, whereas your opponents have the option of only scoring 100. The issue isn't going second. The issue is adding a score on top. The score should be added to your primary or secondary or both, you know? But it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh. Like, the people are just missing the point. It's missing the point of, like, challenger cards are a problem. And it's like, no, challenger cards aren't a problem. Going second is a problem. Should it count as primary or secondary? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It should be either go towards your secondary or go towards your primary. Or a little bit of both.
Mikey! Super chat 5 pounds.
Thanks to the 5, Ricky.
Roll off each battle round, same time as drawing challenger. To see who goes first.
I'm sure having a priority roll every battle round would be a great idea.
End of your turn.
Having a priority roll at the start of each battle round would be a great idea. That's never been a problem. That's never been an issue ever. Clearly. It would be nice to keep it as a primary bonus and then also based on a primary differential. Do you mean like, so it adds to the primary score? So obviously, like we said, if you score 40 points on primary and then 15 in the last turn, you cap out of 50. But then if you score challenger, they also cap out of 50. Because the issue is going second is just, like, without challenger cards, you get the You get the bonus of being able to score primary. You get the bonus of all the secondaries completed instantly. I know there's less now, but I know, like, obviously people have mentioned sabotage a couple of times, because sabotage is one of the last secondary cards that takes a full battle round to complete until the start of your next turn. Whereas the issue with that is, like, your opponent can react to it. Unless you go second, then on the last turn, your opponent was like, oh, well, I'm going to do it, and because the game ends, it automatically scores. Like, going second is just better to be as a player. It has always been better. Challenger cards have just added to that issue. They aren't the issue themselves. You know what I mean? It's like I hurt my elbow, and the elbow is hurting because you went going second, and then you keep poking it and you go, it hurts when I do this. It's like, that's your challenger cards. I can't think of an analogy. That's all. That's the best I've got, chat. I'm sorry. Yes, but also the difference to draw challenge is only tied to primary score. Yeah, that would be interesting. If you could only draw a challenger if you're 6 points ahead with primaries, not secondaries. No one goes first. We just stand there in limbo for 3+ hours staring at the models. Winner is the last person still standing there. Brilliant. Going second is a shit sandwich. Challenger cards are the crust cut off. Yeah, there we go, Goose. You said it better than I did. You said it better than I did. You know what I mean? It's like saying, ouch, this hurts. It's like, well, stop poking it. Could you do the player goes first gets to turn 6 or the player who goes second doesn't? Would that be cobblers? I think that might not be very good, because I think you would just going first would be then just too good. You know what I mean? Going first would then just be too good because you get 6 turns rather than 5. But ultimately, you are punished for going first because your opponent can hide behind stuff. And ultimately, the real fix is alternate activations. You know what I mean? The real fix, if you want to sit down and do it, is alternating activations. But I don't want that as a game. I don't want that as a game either. But really, the best fix for going second is better is to alternate activations. Because then if you send out 1 unit, not 17, at least it's only 1 unit that you've had to send out early. Would it help to make the player going last score primary at the start of their turn as normal instead of the end, and then still have secondary complete as normal? So I think the problem is we had a go first problem. We used to have a go first problem.
Mikey!
Give face, thanks for the 5!
£5. The big question is, does challenger cards stack with all his dust?
Fuck's sake. Thank you for the 5, really appreciate it. It doesn't stack with all his dust, but the dust does stack on my acrylic terrain. You know? I don't think alternating activations works for a game this big. No, it doesn't. This game won't ever be able to be an alternating activation game. It just will never work, in my personal opinion, because you can't have a scout unit activate followed by an Imperial Knight. You know what I mean? But if you want to fix the go first problem or go second problem, that would be the fix. That would fix it, but that would create more issues. But yeah, so we score at the end of the primary at the end of the turn on turn 5 if you go second, because going first was always better because you have the time to move out, and then you are combated. Your opponent has a chance to like fight back, but you were able to grab the objectives first. So if you do happen to get loads of objective control onto the middle objective, and then your opponent's got to get it for a denial or something, they are at a disadvantage, because if they draw a denial turn 1, they can move out and grab it, and then they got to do it. The other person has to do it turn 1. There's a unit to deal with. Like I said, the same way that you are able to trade up and trade stuff to kill that unit in the middle if you both draw a denial turn 1. If you go first and you have area denial, it's easier to score than if you go second. However, when we used to score primary at the start of the battle round, or the start of the command phase, sorry, before we got end of turn scoring for turn 5, your opponent going first can move on to the objectives, and they have that early advantage of being able to move on them with no contention. You know what I mean? There's nothing, you weren't able to move before they could grab them, and then you're constantly having to take them back rather than just being able to take them early. So the whole point of scoring at the end of the game rather than at the end of at the start of the last turn was to combat that, to give the person going second a chance to score more primary because their opponent can't stop them doing what they're doing. And it was kind of like a trade, you know what I mean? It's like if you go first, you can grab the objectives early. If you go second, you have the last turn to try and grab some primary back. That is a catch-up mechanic. That is fundamentally a catch-up mechanic. That has always been a catch-up mechanic. So if everyone's saying we don't need a catch-up mechanic in 40k, I see you in chat. We've had one for years and it's been fine. The problem is Challenger, because we have that catch-up mechanic and if you go second, you're essentially on the back foot until the end of the game, and the way that functions specifically is too strong. Because we have because you are because you're usually down on primary throughout the game until the last turn, and you are always going to be down on points, and the whole point of scoring at the end of your turn on the final battle round is to score those extra points. The adding challenger cards per battle round is one of you is naturally going to be on less points because the other person went first. Is this all making sense? Because this is starting to get convoluted. I feel like I might start again, maybe with some drawings. Maybe with some drawings would help. But essentially, going first is worse because going the second allows you to score primary at the end of the game and gets you a big fat primary score early. Whereas going first allows you to get on the objectives first, but you don't score points until your second turn. So your opponent has time to counter, but you get to grab it first early. Okay? Now, being able to score in the last turn at the end of the game, rather than the command phase, is a catch-up mechanic in itself because you are down on points throughout the game and you score the big prime at the end to then catch up your score. But by adding challenger cards each turn, you know, you are adding the catch-up mechanic before the main catch-up mechanic of scoring at the end of the game. So ultimately, the problem isn't challenger cards, it's still going second because you score at the end of the game. We have two catch-up mechanics for going second, really. That's the problem. Challenger cards aren't the problem. Going second is the problem, and it always has been. I think the intro of challenger cards for some has highlighted an issue that's been present for a while, but they are mistakenly blaming the symptom, not the cause. Truly, that is the problem. Going second was fine. We had a little fix, which was score at the end of the game. And then they went, you know what? We'll add challenger cards, and that will just make going second even better. Chat, what's he talking about now? I think I've lost you. That's my rant over, chat. I think I've cleared it. I think I've done it. I don't think I can explain it any differently. But no, everyone is saying ban challenger cards. Just tell them they're wrong. They're just wrong, bro. They're just so wrong. Anyway, that's my rant over. Thanks so much for watching. I will be releasing this as a clip on the channel. Maybe probably in the main channel, this one. Jace, thank you for the 32 months, dude. At Parasocial tier.
Rejoined. Jace celebrates 32
Thank you,
months of
dude.
membership. You know what doesn't have a catch-up mechanic? Anime horse girls.
Actually, the catch-up mechanic in Anime Horse Girls is friendship. Alright. The catch-up mechanic in Anime Horse Girls is friendship. Did anyone watch Streamer Games yesterday? Because they did a pretty derby race in it. Let first score at the end of turn 1 to balance it, or is that too big of a change? If you're going to keep challenger cards in the way they are, letting the person who's going first score a max of 10 primary is not a bad idea. Not the worst idea we've ever had. Letting the player going first score a small cap in primary is not awful. Because they've added 2 catch-up mechanics for going second. But ultimately, just fix our challenger card score. Make them be part of the primary. Make them be part of the secondary or something. Probably secondary because there is a primary catch-up mechanic, not a secondary. Not really a secondary one, barring one card. Barring sabotage, going second is better because you score more primary. So make challenger part of the primary. Fixed. Fixed, chat. Fixed. But yeah, there was a streamer games yesterday.
Setting up for the
How do I look?
And the streamers were wearing horses and tails.
You friend. Can I get? It is your. Make sure.
So they've got to drink a pint of milk and then run 50 yards or whatever. And then they've got to jump in a sled and another horse anime character has to run and drag them. Because it represents guts, then power, and then speed. Because they have to run the third person. It's like a relay race. The third person runs the 100 yards back.
On your whistle, you got me?
I got you.
All right, Ed, take it away.
Hey, runners, how are we feeling? Ray, drink some milk. All right, that's how we're gonna do it.
Pretty Derby IRL.
3, 2.
I don't like how he blew the whistle. Said 3-2, then blew the whistle. Cringe. 3-2-1, bro. What we're looking at?
Filling.
A bunch of streamers drinking milk. What do you think you're looking at?
Big spill from
Wearing
Edinburgh.
horse ears and
And
tails.
we're seeing a
they're
slow
off.
chug from KDB.
So they drink the milk, run 50 yards,
Finish it off. All right, we are
and then they
off.
jump in a
We're
sleigh
sprinting down
or
right
a
now.
fucking
Power
sled,
sleds.
and then they
All
get
right, we see the
pulled.
first-
Because the first part represents guts in Pretty Derby. You know what I mean? You remember guts, the stat? This represents power.
person in the sled is
This represents power part because they're
making
obviously
their way
being
down the track. We're
dragged
gonna have to clear 'cause it's
in a
100 yards
sled.
coming back down this way.
And then
I
the
think
final
we're
part
to
is
clear
speed
those,
because it's just
actually,
a
Team Emily.
100-yard
There's a
race.
lot of power and speed from
As I said,
Sambucha.
all of these streamers, very famous streamers, pay millions of dollars a year to run in horsetails and horse ears. Awful time to cut the camera to the drone, but there you go. Uma Musume. Can we do this at All Stars? Yes. This stream is not for the lactose intolerant. It's because it takes guts to drink down a pint of milk and run 50 yards. It's genius. It's genius. It takes guts to down a pint of milk and then run 50 yards. Genius idea. Anyway. I want to see Deck riding Magoo down the course. Someone posted something on Dizzy? On the Dizzy? Oh, Hatman, bro. Oh, bro, this is so true. Welcome to the World Team Championships. We've got a ball pit and a hose pipe. Let's go! Fucking hell. Great job. Great job, mate. Great job, mate. Great job, lad. Anyway, that's it. That's it for tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll be back on Wednesday. We've got some fun videos to have a look at. We got some fun videos to look at on Wednesday, which should be good. There was something else I wanted to say. Was there something else I wanted to look at? No, I think that's it. No, I think that's it. I think we covered it all, chat. Just save that image from a thumbnail. So yeah, so thanks for hanging out today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the donations. Very kind of you. Don't tell anyone about this stream. Don't tell anyone what happened in this stream today. Or tell them and tell them to tune into Hellstormwargaming. It's fucking hilarious. Kiss your wives good night and I'll catch you next time. Didn't mean to do that. Kiss your wives good night and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Also buy an all-star ticket. Appreciate you. /shop in chat. /G Fuel in chat. /Outpost in chat. Don't share any clips whatsoever. Just blank their name out, please, for the love of God. Oh, what a stream. Don't dare post any clips in Discord where it says stream clips. Thanks for watching. Love you.